Hi, and welcome to part 11 of my Python Programming for Beginners tutorial series. In the last few videos, we've gone over some different types of data collections. Today is going to be the last type of data collection here in Python, which is going to be dictionaries, which is a key value pair data collection. So basically, every entry in this data collection has a key and every item has a value, and we will be able to retrieve these items by their key value. So what we can do here to declare a dictionary is actually just, like always, create a variable here. So we're just going to call this enemy. This is going to be an enemy dictionary. And we're going to do the open and close curly brackets, just like a set would. And then we start putting in our keys here. So we're going to put in name. And instead of equals, it's going to be a colon. And we're going to set this up to be a goblin here. And we're going to put in, it's going to have a level. And we can also mix data types within a object here or a dictionary. So let's go ahead and let's put in here health. So we want our goblin to have health here. And let's do one last one, which is going to be drops. And we're actually going to put a list here. So just to show you guys that you guys can put a whole lot of different data types inside of a dictionary. All right, so here we have our enemy dictionary. Now we could actually just call the print function on this dictionary, and we're going to see that we do get our dictionary back. But of course, if we wanted specific properties here of our dictionary or specific key value pairs, we can call enemy, and then we're going to put the name in the square brackets here. We've got our square notation here, and we can get the exact name here. So that's how you would create a dictionary and access the specific item within the dictionary. Now, one thing about dictionaries is you can't have duplicate keys. So you can only have one name key, one level key, one health key, one drops. But you can have as many keys as you want. And they are ordered. So the order that you do create them is the order that they will loop in and that they will stay, which is very, very handy. And it comes with a lot of handy features and methods. So one of the methods here that we can do is we can actually, let's create a variable here. We're going to call it keys. And we are going to, that's probably actually a reserved keyword here. So let's go enemy keys equals enemy dot keys here. And we can actually print off this, and this will actually give us a list of keys. So basically it shows here dictionary keys. We have name, level, health, and drops. And you can also do the same thing here for values, and that will get you all the actual values. So not the keys, but the actual value that the keys are associated to. And you can even do one last one, which is called dot item, or dot items, I should say. And that will give you a list of tuples of all the different key value pairs. So we can see here we have a list here. We have our first tuple, which is going to have the key name and the value of key name, which is goblin. And we have level 13, health 100, and drops is equal to our list here. So these are all very, very handy methods to be able to parse through different dictionaries. You're also able to loop through dictionaries, but like I said, I'm going to make a video to basically cover loops for every data collection. That's going to be my next video. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at some more things that you can do with dictionaries first. So we've learned to access a value in dictionary. We can just go ahead and call our dictionary with our square bracket notation here, and we can just put in the key and we will get the value for that associated key. Now what we could do is actually we can update the value of the value for the key by just simply calling enemy, and let's bring up the level of the goblin here. So let's do level, and let's bring him up to level 20. And then if we do a print enemy here, we can see that its level is now 20. So that's very, very useful if you want to update one key value pair at a time. But dictionaries do give you the ability to actually update multiple values at once. So if we do enemy.update, and then we pass in a dictionary, we can actually do, let's change the name here. Let's make this an ogre now because it's more powerful. And let's go ahead and let's upgrade its health to 1000. And that should be pretty good. All right, and then we're gonna print off enemy here. So we should see all the new values. So we see here after our first update, we can see 20. And then with our update function here, we actually managed to change the name to ogre, the health to 1000 in one simple line. So if you have multiple key value pairs to update, definitely the .update method is very, very handy. If you only have one, you could simply just reference the specific key and update it. Now, you can also add key value pairs the exact same way that you change them. So if we do enemy square notation, actually, let's do attack here. And if we do equals to 20, now we know we didn't have a key called attack at the beginning here. So let's see what happens. So here we can see that the key value attack n20 was added to the end here. And you could do the exact same thing. We can use the update method as well to add keys and values here. So if we just do here, and let's pass in strength here. Let's do a strength of 20. And then let's go ahead and let's add a weapon. And let's put that equal to a club. And let's go ahead and let's print off enemy now. So here we can see it added the strength and the weapon key value pair. So everything is working definitely as expected. So of course, when you can add items, usually you can remove items. So let's take a look at removing items out of a dictionary. So to simply remove the last item in a dictionary, you could use the pop item method, which that will remove the last added key value. So if we do that here on the enemy, we should actually be removing here because the last key value pair added was weapon. So let's see if that is what gets removed. Yep, so we can see here we had weapon here, and then in our next print, we lose that weapon and we just have attack and strength. And you can actually remove specific key value pairs with the pop method, and then you could just put in the specific key that you want to remove. So let's remove attack here, and then let's print off enemy. And then we see that the attack is now gone. So that's perfect. Now there are a lot of other methods that you can use to remove. There is the .clear for dictionaries as well, which will just completely empty the dictionary. You can also use the del keyword. So if you do del enemy and then square bracket, and let's remove strength here. And then if we do print enemy, we can see here that the strength also got removed here. So those are all the different ways that you could delete things out of dictionaries. Now, to create a copy of a dictionary, very similarly to the lists, you cannot just simply do enemy2 equals enemy, because this will simply create a reference to the dictionary. So if I do this here, enemy2 name equals to goblin here, and then I go ahead and just print the regular enemy object, you will now see that its name changed back to goblin. So very similarly to lists here, we can do enemy2 equals enemy dot copy, and then if we change enemy2, enemy is unchanged, but the enemy2 will actually have all the features of enemy, and then have the name changed to goblin. Now there are a lot of other features also in dictionaries that we won't be covering. Like a lot of them are basically just accessing different values in dictionaries. You can check if a value is in a dictionary as well. So let's go through that example. So if we do here, if name in enemy, we can do print enemy name. So here basically says, if the name key exists in enemy, then let's print off the name here. So let's do one that will actually not exist here. So let's do this does not exist. And let's do inventory here. Let's see if inventory in enemy, and we'll just do this here. So let's see what this equals out. So we do get that this does not exist. So if you wanted to check if a key exists in a dictionary, you could simply use the in keyword in an if statement, and you can either print off the value of that key or give out to the user that that key does not exist and to try again if you're in a game setting or depending on the scenario that you have. That pretty much covers everything for dictionaries that we're going to need in the future for these types of videos. But definitely check out the dictionary documentation online. There are a few other methods that you might find useful that I will not be covering in this video just because they are a little bit more advanced, and we are just trying to keep these fairly short and fairly simple to grasp. And this way it's just easier to learn the more complex functions later on. So on the next video, we will be covering loops of different data collections. So I'll be showing you how to loop through arrays, lists, sets, tuples, and dictionaries. So make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I will see you on the next video.